Love you, Aussie. I don't have mine.
Rueben Cherrington to Kennedy Cherrington.
Navigated the biggest ocean. We can navigate anything.
You are now listening to
Cherries on top. Bro, sorry. You're a noob. Don't be silly.
Bruh.
It's hard to navigate. What?
Got that dog in us. Yes, we could. Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's go. Comeback season.
Well, everyone, you're listening to Cherries on Top, your favourite sisters, Kennedy and Rueben, NRLW players, TikTokers, or even podcasters to some. Thanks for tuning in for episode 4, and today we've got a really special guest. But before we kick it off, what you got for us, Rubes?
This episode is brought to you by our good mate GS and sponsor, so shout out to you. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you.
Really grateful. So we're bringing the NO, like we said, from the first start of season 2. New season, really exciting. Cool setup as well. As you can see, we've got a lot going on. We've really hit the big time, I reckon. Cool sponsor. Big timers now. But a massive episode, today, Rubes.
Yes, massive episode today for us. We're bringing one of the most powerful, honest voices in the game, talented, the girl and woman herself, Sala Togatuki.
Yay!
Oh,
now, Salah was actually my roomie at State of Origin series. We went through some highs and lows during that series, and I'm just so grateful that we could bring one of my best mates on. So how are you, Salah? How are you today?
Thank you, girls, for having me here, first of all. I'm grateful. I'm good to just be here, speaking all good things in life and something different beyond footy, I guess, for me.
What do you think of the setup?
It's honestly really good. Like, I've never been in something like this, so...
Now, is this kind of like your first podcast?
Yeah, I'd say proper,
it was an hour podcast.
It says Cherries on top. I love it. I'm so
you're
grateful.
kind of matching the colour wave too.
Colour scheming.
Oh,
I love that.
Stop
So
it.
quick check-in before we deep dive into your story, because I'm really excited to tell the people in our community Sala Togatuki, Sala Togatuki, like who you are. So before we dive in, how are you, Rubes? Looking to round 1. What's going on?
Oh, yes. Well, this episode doesn't drop until next week. So we've got captain's run today, play tomorrow. So excited about that. Taking on the Sharks at Shark Park.
Yep. Home game for us, down the road.
Yeah, down the road from where we actually live, actually. But no, feeling exciting going into round 1. Coming off the back of last year, but just keen for the season ahead. What else?
You bought a car?
Yeah, I bought a GTI, if anyone knows what that is.
Oh, not the GTI. You flex that.
Yeah, flex that, but just a little nippy little thing. But other than that, life's good.
It was pretty good because in the episodes in the last season, you crashed your car, you lost your license, you didn't have a car for a time, and then you're complaining about catching train, and now we're here. Growth.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Growth.
Character development.
I love that.
Yes.
And well, for me, a bit of a rough start to the season. I've been hiding my knee brace from you guys. I'm in my injury for the last 5-6 weeks. Didn't get named for round 1, hoping to look to round 2, but we'll see. Just picked up a little knee injury in Origin 3, but that's kind of rugby league and it's part of the game. So no, I'm not injury prone. Stop with the comments. They're so shit. Being told otherwise, but I'm just looking after my knee and ripping into rehab.
Love that. Yeah, I love that.
Salah, how are you? What's going on?
Yeah. Wow, girls, that's a lot going on in life.
So trauma dump now.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's so, life, I guess, with me, it's been like a slow road of recovery, and not just from rehab, but a bit of grief at the moment. So, I guess I'm grateful to God. Like I have been named to play, and I think I didn't think I was going to be here today playing rugby league still. Something happened, obviously, very tragic. Passing of someone very close to me in my family, and I really nearly gave up on a game. So not to keep it too sad, but I'm here. Tigers round 1. We got Broncos this weekend.
So good luck, sis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know I asked you and you said yes straight away, but I just still wanted to check in. Is it all right? You sure? Are you ready? So really appreciate that, and I just really, really care about you. And this is one of my best mates, guys. It's so cool that we can bring our best mates who are just really cool, significant, powerful people in the community. So I just really want to talk about you.
Would you say you guys got obviously close throughout footy? Was it being roomies or was it being in the same team?
roomies, especially the last
It's different,
series.
hey, when you're
Yeah.
roommates.
Yeah.
And I think like being we were roomies throughout the whole campaign.
6
The
weeks together.
series, Yeah, 6 weeks.
Did you get sick of
together.
each other? Surely.
Yeah. Well,
She's
no.
pretty annoying. She's pretty annoying speaking from experience.
Whoa.
Literally. Nah, there's nothing really annoying to say about Kens. Like I know there's a lot of outside voices and some people hate on Kens. Like that's just people who've probably never grown up with someone who've, I don't know, just a lot of energy. And for me, Kendra reminds me of that special person that I lost. So yeah, she's very loud. She stands her ground like for who she is. And I think like you just gotta like be okay with being yourself. Like you're never gonna find a right audience. Maybe the audience will find you. And I guess Ken's her voice that she, through the game, she's found the right people. And I'm glad I got to know Ken's a bit more. That's all you need to do. Like like you literally. Sorry, I don't mean to like pump your tires in. Jeez, like
No.
That's all good. You be the host.
I think I can get away with the banter because obviously you're my blood sister. So
You're with her 24/7.
We're with her 24/7.
But I actually miss Ken's. When we
checking
departed, and we just message each other so often. Like, and I really value our friendship. I think friendships where you can be in spaces and rooms where you're going to be defended. Like by them, like
No,
that's
they got
just
your
how
back
it's like
100%.
and like I said, she reminds me of my sister Jean. It's
that loyalty,
and loyalty, like
that.
that's you
Oh,
stand in
guys,
it.
guys,
Oh,
stop.
yeah, too much love for you.
I love that.
Yeah, but
Thank
just
you.
word of advice for anyone, like when you go through like meeting people, just treat them like a book. So if you don't go and make the decision to open that book up, that is on you. That you've not actually got to know the person for who they are.
Exactly.
So unless you go and really get to know them and sit down and try and understand them, then maybe you might enjoy the book. You might get to know them a bit better.
Oh, mic drop.
Oh,
So, yeah.
facts on facts. Speaking from the heart.
Love
No,
that,
stop.
Salah. Thank
Speaking
you.
to the soul.
To the soul.
Got you,
That's why I love
yeah.
you, and it's the same love
Love
back.
you girls, yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you a question. Salah, growing up, like who are you? But from your own perspective, like introduce yourself how you would to people that don't know you. Because what I see from is like very much community leader, passionate in anything you do, aggressive hardball runner. But I think people.
When I think of you, I think of staunch. That's the word that comes to my brain when I think of you. So
Wow.
it's like staunch, like just
staunch and NO.
and staunch and kind as well. Like
Yeah.
you have when to like flick the switch and be staunch when your footy commitments come up, but then you also know how to be a kind human being.
Yeah, very
And
sweet.
that's how.
Geez, I've never really been asked that. Hey, I think for me, most places I've gone to, they've always just had something already, pre-lined up and to say about me. But yeah, people who think they know me from footy, I guess.
Completely different person.
Yeah,
off
if
field,
I had to really introduce myself, I'm Salah.
Hi, Salah.
A 27-year-old, proud Samoan Australian woman raised in Western Sydney. I was born in Auburn, but I was raised in a suburb called Tregear. For those who don't know,
the area.
yeah, it's basically Mount Jewett. And I grew up in housing commissions, and I say that with pride. So that shaped my outlook on life, and it really taught me the value of hard work early on. My parents moved from Samoa, barely speaking English, and they didn't know how things worked here. No clue of what a mortgage was, no idea how to, manage debts. But yeah, I guess like they did the best they could with what they had.
Well,
A lot of
look
it,
at you.
look
Look at you, sis. Look at you.
Yeah, like a lot of the time, my parents would put everyone before themselves, and which is very common in our culture.
Very much.
And
Polynesian
because of
culture.
that, they went a lot, like without a lot actually in life. And so, yeah, I guess everything I've done thus far in my career, it's been for them. And I feel privileged that through my journey, I've actually been able to give back to my family. Then, yeah, like I guess that says who I am. Before anything else, I'm family first. That's just who I am. So, yeah.
You've done that more ways than ever. If you just have a look at Salah's socials, like she's bought her family a house, she's bought her dad a car,
truck.
like all these things. And I see how you describe your parents are very much qualities I see in you today. Very much selfless. You put the team first, you put others first, and sometimes that can come at cost to your well-being as well. But you still show up for everyone else, and basically,
It's just a selfless person overall.
yeah, definitely. But I think NRLW, right? You came into the space. We actually, if you didn't know, guys, we debuted the same year in the same team.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
This is my bash bro.
Off the bench.
Off the bench, 15 and
Crazy.
16. So, that was us in Origin as well.
Did you guys speak much then?
Yeah, she was dropping me home after training to the Roosters.
Yeah. pretty
Crazy.
much.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
how
wasn't
we...
really a good driver then, so yeah. But you got home safe, so that's all that matters.
But picture there's 4 teams, NRLW 2020. Roosters, so the tricolours are in the tricolours, very
No,
different.
actually, that was our first game together.
Yeah.
I wish she had come over earlier because you were still like in rugby union.
Rugby union
You were still in
transitioning.
the whole like elite space. Like
That's so
with
crazy.
Aussie, the whole
No.
Aussie
5 years
thing.
ago now.
Yeah, and
Look how
Rueben-
far the growth of NRLW has.
Yeah, like
Amen.
Ruben, minimum wage is what, 42? And bro, we were on like $4,000.
4,000 with like that's just the gross. So by the time tax came, it was pretty much
$2,000.
Yeah, $2,000 or something.
crazy.
Grateful.
That's literally like a normal working job,
Yeah.
you know?
Sorry,
Yeah.
is that too
Wages.
loud? Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Hi, Ina, love.
So speaking of like rugby league, take us back. When did like sport become a thing for you? When did, I don't know, rugby league go, yep, that's what I want to do growing up? Like, I feel like you were quite sporty as well.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Like growing up in a strict Samoan household, like sports wasn't really encouraged, especially like contact sports.
And being female as well.
Yeah, and being female. And I honestly think like my mum had high hopes one day I would marry a priest. Like literally, it's like my parents are very like religious, like old school Samoan. And yeah, my dad, he was so against it, like just females in general.
Playing sport?
Like playing sport and
Wow.
even more so like physical contact, male dominant
Going
sport.
against those
That
traditional
kind
norms.
of like old school.
Yeah,
Like
real
you
old
said.
school. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually, and look, his daughter's
One of the best props in the game.
yeah,
No.
Jillaroo, West
Imagine.
Tiger, Blues.
That
Crazy.
crossroads, like imagine
Your life could have taken a
Big
different turn.
Yeah, literally, like through the journey, like it's my dad at the start. Like obviously he wasn't
Hard to get
Like
around.
he was hard to get around, and we struggled to see eye to eye.
Were you kind of sneaking footy around, or
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
from like what, 15 or even earlier?
Oh yeah, I'd say around that age. Like no, I'd say just a bit later.
Yeah.
was that like netball and like?
Yeah, I
any
started.
sport?
I started playing netball first. Like netball was pretty much my first proper team sport for me. And like I knew like my mum, she knew I was like an active kid and sporty, and like I obviously didn't have much control of what I was doing in school, so I would be participating in sports and. Yeah, they knew like I would be coming home with ribbons and participation awards. Like it's like it was all for nothing, I guess. Like these little passions I had in me in school, and yeah, they didn't even think to even put me in anything outside of school or
Kind of pave your own way through
yeah.
school.
They just wanted me to do well in school, and also like to just hopefully go to uni and just very typical.
Was it more so because they didn't see a pathway with sport being a career later
Yeah.
down the track? It was school, study,
Or just
Yeah.
that
get a good job.
traditional norm that
Just the
girls should play.
traditional norm. Like it was that bad. My mum, because parts of my childhood growing up, I had I've never really shared this with anyone, but like I had my old man pretty much miss parts of my life, like, and it was all because he was in jail, and so I struggled with that, like having even like when I said we struggled to see eye to eye. When he just came out, it was more so me catching up and trying to get to know my dad and find out love, like, with him. And he struggled to even show it. And I guess it just strengthened his reasons to not want me to do sports.
Yeah.
But more so my mum, like she had like us 6 kids like at the time where like, she was struggling on her own. And so I had to go on board with a family for 2 years when I just started in a Catholic school. And she didn't, obviously I was the first kid of hers to actually go to school outside of the area. And this family, they're the Panisi families, and I got to give a shout out to my auntie.
Shout 'em out, shout 'em out.
And my uncle Afako. They really took me and their family, like, they took me with open arms and love to, want to help my mum out and my family while my dad was absent in patches of our lives. And for me, it was, I don't know how to say it. Like, I just,
So much gratitude for
so much gratitude. Hey, like the struggles and that, like,
that's
You
what
can see it shining through you as of like how grateful and how, everything you do in life, all of your, your hardships growing up,
It's worked out.
the positive comes out of you. This is
And you've gone through the struggle, and you've got that why. That's why I think I love you so much, because
You
it's
know
like
your why
you know
to a
your
T.
why, and you make a point every time you take the field, and because you're an athlete, like you have so much to play for, because there's so many
literally,
people
yeah.
who gave their heart and soul. And that's what I love about Polynesian communities. It's not just one family, and
It's a whole community.
like it's
No,
a whole
it's a whole
community that
community,
raises.
No, it's true. It takes a village, hey, to raise like an athlete. And with my like I said, like the Panisi families, even though like I wasn't really put into like sports and stuff like that, team sports, they happen to have a brother. He's like, goes by the name Daniel Panisi, and he was just like, I didn't really know him like, with his sports stuff. Like I just knew he was coming home and going to trainings, but I didn't know he was part of the whole Penrith. Going through their grades and
big
trying
timer.
to crack it, big time. Hey, like, and now that I think back to then, I'm just like, wow, like really, I really had really great people around me. And like I guess for players, you thrive on your upbringing, and it helps shape you to who you are when you're into space. And I think it's so important that you don't lose sight of who you are. So 100. Like Daniel, like got to give a shout out to Daniel. Like he was
Shout out Daniel.
Didn't really know it much then, but I reflect back now, like they did play a big part. My whole like passion ignited and started with my brother that passed away, J.N.R. So he spent majority of his life in jail. And like I guess like the love I had for netball, I was outgrowing it, and all I could remember was just the last conversation I had with my brother. I opened up to him about obviously not liking netball anymore, and he really gave me that advice to just, go give rugby a crack. We knew that it was going to go against my parents and, our values and stuff. But he said, if you're really happy, if you want to be happy, go do what you want to do. Like, so ever since he passed away, that year that he passed away, God works in like mysterious ways. I was on Facebook, and I had a family friend named V who put a post up, asking for any females out there who just want to come and give rugby league a crack. And I reached out to her, and I was very curious. It took me right back to my brother's and I's conversation, and that's the last words he had for me. And I just wanted to try and honour it in the best way. I didn't know any better. I was still young, but I was a bit rebellious and had to lie my way through to wanting to have a crack at rugby league. And shout out to V. I guess there's a lot of people to shout out.
Well, now you're a Jillaroo. You ever played for Australia? You've played at the highest stage in State of Origin, and you're one of the best props in the NRLW game. Like, it's just crazy how 1 minute, you could go down this path, and then the other, you're this player. So, shout out to your brother, man, because that's something you've held on to and keep yourself accountable. I love that.
No, honestly, like the whole dream of wanting to give back to my parents it all really started with him. That was his dream. So like he was really good at art, and like most of the times he would send us letters and checking in, he would send us a little drawing of his, and when he left, he told us like his dream, like to my parents, for them was to have their first own home, like because that's all we ever knew was a bit of struggle and living in houses. And he promised them one day I'll come. He was like, Mum, Dad, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna use my talents for the good and hopefully do some tattooing. And he started that inside, and he was hoping that one day he'd take it to the garage and have some sort of small business start there, and hopefully just grew into something to be able to afford them that dream home. So he didn't get to do that. So
he did through you.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's what it was. Hey, I'm a very big believer of things happen for a reason, and I just had to weather the storms. Nothing's gonna ever be great as you go through tough times, but I'm just like really grateful to God that I really came through with that. So
thank you for being so vulnerable, Salah. It's really nice hearing your story, and I guess what you said before, don't judge a book by its cover, and you giving me and Kennedy this piece of information about your life, it's just like that last little puzzle piece of why you are the way you are. And it shows your kindness, your realness, your selflessness, everything. It's refreshing to hear, actually.
So how I got to ask, how are Mum and Dad now? Do they love rugby league? Because I see your mum, she's always at the game. She's the loudest in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey.
Whatever, you know that. No, like it's just crazy. Like at the first they didn't really have a barge or anything like, you know, with me and footy. But like now they're my greatest supporters ever, and I've really cherished that. I don't take it for granted ever. And yeah, like, well, that's all they ever want to talk about is footy when I come home from trainings. But you would know the feeling. You're just exhausted and overwhelmed. And I get home.
Coach 3 and 4.
Yeah. Actual say. And yeah, well, my dad, he thinks, you know, because, you know, back
Wayne
in my
Bennett's?
days. Yeah, back in my days kind of thing. My old man would always try and talk about how he used to play with like back at Wellington, and it's probably like one of the lower grades team he played, but he would try and make it sound like it was all blacks level. But I don't know. Like, but look, I listen to my old man respectfully, as we all do. You know, you have a parent in your ear telling you how to play or try to give some advice, you know, palm them, this, that. But yeah, I try not shy away from my strengths, and we know better how to play. But yeah, I respectfully listen to my man. As long as I have them in my corner, that's all that matters for me. And yeah, it's just really special that I really have that connection now with my parents. Like, it's crazy, like what rugby league can do far and beyond just the game itself.
Opportunities post-game,
yeah. It's really brought me and my parents really closer more than ever, despite, you know, the losses that we've you know, gone through. But yeah, like there is still love and hope through this game. So yeah, I guess anyone that comes over to play rugby league, you will know how much more like support you have. You know, friends are more than just friends.
And our game,
I could
lifelong
say that
friendships.
Yeah, lifelong. I could say that with you, Kens. Like I told this to Kens. Like, I'm gonna share with everyone. Like, as soon as my sister passed, the way Kens really held me, you know, was full of strength and love, and with Mimes beside her, like beside me, like I'll never ever forget this Origin period for me, like with you girls. It will forever go with me to my grave.
Yeah, it digs deeper than just winning.
Just winning,
There was so much that went on, and that's
Literally.
what I kind of wanted to touch on, because I know you were open to sharing some stuff with that Origin period, because I know a lot of people kind of wanted to know, like, oh, what went on behind the scenes? Why were you guys so close?
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, it comes down to what happened. Well, from game one, really, with the passing of our beautiful Jean, our big sister, the biggest, loudest mouth in that crowd, besides probably our mum, alongside mum.
But that's how they met.
Yeah,
It was
literally.
in the crowd.
It was in the crowd.
One was already being allowed, and then the other one was trying to be louder than that.
Yeah,
and I was
and
just
then
like,
they linked
what's
up,
going
my
on
people.
here? And then,
Literally.
they didn't realise that they were like whose players, you know,
Who's who?
like God, like
Who you going
that's
for?
your mum and that's my sister. They didn't know that, you know, that was
Wow.
that.
They're big wires.
No, literally.
Put them together.
Yeah, crazy.
It's
But
crazy.
yeah, no, like I hold you in heart. Like that's you, like the friendship that I have with you and Mimes. It's more than like friends.
Yeah.
Like it's like my sisters.
Did
like,
you just
literally.
kind of want to share like what happened during that period, like off field? You know, one day we're training, one day we're going to the chemist, and then the next minute just kind of
Life's taken a turn.
yeah, life took a turn, like a freaking U-turn, really. And then yeah, next minute I know I'm holding my friend and she's sobbing in my arms, and we're on our way to Chemist Warehouse, and then I'm just like, oh shit.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, those tough times usually bring closer friendships, and it definitely did. But I guess just from your words, like, you know,
Sorry, my heart's like beating.
you're right. Take your time, sis.
I'm really talking about this. Yeah. For those who don't know, I lost my sister.
Yeah.
Sorry. I lost my sister during camp for game 3, and like it all happened so fast. Sorry. Yeah, look, like no one knew, like in our team what I was going through, and I'm really grateful.
Until we had to know. Like,
Until they had to know, like, and I'm just so grateful. Like I had Kens as my roommate, and I never ever thought in my life that I'd had to confide in someone that I wasn't really close with, like, and I had mimes there too. And my sister was she was in hospital. She went into hospital during game 2, camp for game 2. And I didn't think anything of it. I just I thought it was a little scare. And I guess, I literally the last thing I spoke with her was like...
It was a few days before that she came to the hotel.
Yeah. So game 1, my family, she was the one that... she's my biggest supporter. Like, if anyone knew Jean, she was the one that gathered, rallied people to come watch my games. And game 1, it's just crazy. She pretty much came with my parents, drove all the way to Brisbane. And then, I saw her and, before the game as well. And, I hugged and kissed her. And, I just didn't know how much, those little trips that the effort she made for it to happen meant so much, and it really means a lot to me now that I reflect a lot on those times. And I'm sorry, I'm really going away from this, but she went into hospital camp for game 2, and we had a day off, and I guess it was our second day off in that camp. Don't really remember the day, but we did have another day off where we FaceTimed, and she was so happy that, I was at Adidas store, and I was trying to use my credit, to, give back, to my family, buy her kids some Origin gears. And herself. And, there was this retro jersey that she was like, oh, my days, sis, I love that. And I said, I'll get it for you. And she's someone that would always just make sure she had her babies covered first before herself. Yep. And I just knew I had, there was enough there. And I was like, no, sis, I'm getting it for you. And she was like, no rush. And I'm like, sweet. So when I got the call the next day, during the training, and this little scare that she's gone to hospital, my family, she was really big on making sure I wasn't distracted from my game prep. So I was always the last one to find out things. I was always kept in the dark. I think that's just how my family really cared for me. Mm-hmm. And then on our second day off in that camp, I went to see her to give, I think it was Mother's Day or something.
Mother's Day, Sunday.
Yeah, and I went to give her, to take the jersey and give it to her. And that was the last time that she was actually conscious, and the last couple of words she said to me. And Ken's knew before I went on that day off to see her that I hadn't been getting sleep, and because I had her on my mind. And so when I went to see her, she was just in a state that I couldn't believe she was in. Sorry. So just to see someone that was couldn't be helped. And I kept thinking she's in the best hands. Kept praying.
Yeah, we were praying for her every day.
Yeah, literally. Yep. And when I gave her the jersey, I didn't know her daughter had my phone, and she just wanted to record a reaction of receiving her Mother's Day gift. And when I gave it to her, her whole left side, she just the condition she was diagnosed with, very unknown, and she had lost all sensation and movement. So she was very still, and I didn't know it at the time when I gave the jersey. I was like, why? Her other side was wasn't really touching, engaging me to hug me.
Yeah.
I didn't know it until I watched the video back, and it really breaks my heart. That was the last thing I saw of her. And this is how selfless my sister was, knowing that she was in a state that, could not be helped. Her last words to me was, she looked at me and she was like, what are you doing here? Get some sleep, sis. Go back to camp. And it really broke me, because obviously I didn't know that was going to be the last time she'd say something to me, and it really sits with me, and it will always sit with me. So when I went back to, I had a bit of time, obviously, before they had to transfer her, and she was very miserable, and I was just trying to trust the nurses advice and words that they've done everything to she's in good hands, and I'm like, okay. So then I came back to camp.
And trying to prep for a game. This is why I admire you.
Yeah.
You came back, and I knew something was up, not just your normal, scare.
Yeah.
Just having to, I think my role in this, I didn't want to ask about it because I knew so many people already asking about you. I thought I had to speak to my mum. I was like, how do I help Salah? And I wanted to be a distraction for you. So, when you got back, give you a big hug or let's do a TikTok. I'd try to get your mind off it because I know your mind was running crazy. I was checking in with everyone. So I think I just wanted to be that kind of escape.
Yeah.
That's
and
why.
you were.
Yeah.
Honestly, you were so good at it. Like I've never done that many TikTok dances in my life until that period, that time. And and oh my gosh, the one couple of people to obviously give a lot of thank yous to, but if there was one person I'd really extend it to would be Gab Rose, our wellbeing. So obviously when I got the call from family that my sister had slipped into an unconscious state where she really obviously had to go to have surgery. It was like an emergency and I broke down. We were on our way to Chemist Warehouse and it was just so just the way it happened, me and Ken's were high, we were just
we're
vibing, good day, good session we just had, and then bang, and you know what, I actually didn't get the phone call. I wanted to make the phone call just to see how her babies were, because if anyone knew my sister, she knew her whole world revolved around her babies. And she had 4 kids, and they all vary between ages, in the teenage and they're teenagers, and then she's got her little Bubba, her only boy. So, that you can only imagine the chaos and just, their emotional state that they were, going through. But just I wasn't really caring about myself. I was more caring about them. And so I went to call my mum to see if they were okay, if they went to school all right. And mum was just, I think I called the wrong person, to be honest. Yeah. She was already my mum's very distressed. She's not someone that's can string her words. Once something's bad's happened, she's gone with it. So my
especially
mum
got to do with her baby too.
Yeah, her baby, and it's her first baby, and I was just oh my gosh, she started crying and was telling me she's gone into she's had to go in for a surgery and. Yeah, so
and then that was happening and I was like, what am I doing? Yeah. Call Gab Rose. Gab Rose is our wellbeing manager who looks after basically everything non-footy. We all have an assigned wellbeing manager per team. So good. And she came through for you guys. Just drove you everywhere. Yeah. She dropped everything.
She did a lot behind the scenes and to make things happen. She was really there for not just me, for my family and even just the Blues fans. As soon as the news came to light to them all, sorry that didn't make sense, but they actually rallied around me so strong, and I don't think I could have gotten through that campaign without them, to be honest. So yeah, it just happened so quick. I even today, I still try to wrap my head around it. To go and and to Strangey, all my days I couldn't have there's so many people I couldn't have got through it without, and he was definitely the coach of the year for me.
For you.
Love you, Noddy. But Strangey, he is very family first mentality coach.
He's different, eh?
Yeah, you don't feel any pressure.
From an emotional point of view, he understands.
He understands, and I didn't he didn't even actually. I didn't feel pressured whether to push to push through training or to even have to leave for to
everyone
be with my
understood.
And
life comes first.
100%.
Rugby league is just a game. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that we have to do this, but it's when there's no rugby league, you're a human first. There's so many. It's bigger than life. It's not bigger than life.
I'm a big believer in your off-field drama. You fix that before your footy, and that's how you get your best result in footy.
And it translate. How things are going for you off the field.
Yeah, and I actually have had similar experience with losing someone. That 2020 grand final we were talking about with Roosters. That was the day I lost. Well, my family purposely disclosed that from me before grand final.
Yeah, it was literally that day we found out in the morning, but you had your game to prep for.
I had an NRLW grand final to prep for.
And Rube's how much it means to prep for a game.
No,
So for Ken's to go and do a big job, you knew to not obviously get into her mind and disrupt what was going good already.
Because,
and it's sad, as much as we don't want to be kept in the dark,
But you kind of respect it from later. You're going, Thank you.
Just
now
from
I can.
for a love perspective, hey.
Big time.
That was
So,
hard.
yeah,
And then having to, our team celebrating, and then I'm going to the hospital to turn
Didn't
off her
did you
life
get drug
support.
tested that?
And then I got drug tested. So there was just like all these
much,
roadblocks.
hey?
I'm like, get me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then to be told by the doctor. So I did feel like you were in with the right person to understand
Yeah,
that
resonate.
like,
Grieving
it's not an
process.
experience that you want to share. But
No,
I'm
definitely
grateful that
not.
I kind of knew where you were coming from. That's why I was
And
like,
I'm
okay,
grateful I had you.
she needs a distraction.
And look,
Yeah.
this is just another prime example of it's not just, one person, it's community.
Yeah.
It's community. Honestly, it takes a lot for a good support network, and it was a mess. Like I'd gone back and forth to the hospital to obviously visit her with her babies, and they technically stuck with me to her kids. Like I just took it on full time, and until hopefully there was some sort of recovery with my sister's condition, and they won for camp game 3 camp. We were training that evening. Gab and Strangey pulled me to the side and said, "You don't have to train, just leave immediately." And I was like, "Nah, I'll just train, because I'm a bit of a big back. So if I don't train and get those Ks in my legs, I'm definitely probably not coming back for camp." So I told Strangey, he respected me. He was like, and I'm so grateful, that he understood. They let me, to do that session. And right after Gab packed me some dinner, I just showered and up and left with Gab, and she dropped me home to the kids. And
Yeah. And you didn't train all week after that?
I didn't train all week after
No.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty much just a lot of back and forth to the hospital again. It broke my heart because, I just was in a meeting a couple of days before that, that there was some hope in her recovery. And as soon as I think that nothing will ever shatter me more than seeing the way my nieces had to really find out how their mum passed. Her heart was stopping. But the weird thing about it, is as soon as I got the 2 girls there, with MJ, her heart just stopped.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and it was just in time. It's like she was holding on,
Waiting for you to get back.
to get her babies to her, and
Said one last goodbye.
yeah, and it didn't, because in the ICU they've got these automatic doors where obviously you got to be careful of who you're letting in, and the girls are just waiting to get in because my oldest, she came out to for fresh air, she couldn't handle it, she'd already gone through her mum passing, and the 2 girls just ran straight to her bed. And it's funny that we hear about the whole footy in life and stuff, and all I could remember from as soon as she passed and they got to her bedside was Malik and Oswald saying, "No, this can't be it, this can't be it. You promised us you'd come to our games if we ever made it to NRLW." And I think for me it's I didn't realise the power of playing this game. I had influence on just not my sister, but she breathed it and she made sure her babies knew it. And it's Jean, she loved the Bulldogs. So what was weird, Ken's, was as she was in hospital and she was fighting for dear life, it wasn't just the one camp, it was both game 2, 3 camps where we had stayed in a hotel where Bulldogs
were
staying. So I'm just obviously I've got my sister's condition, her in my head, and I'm not really, not all there. But it's it was a bit of her trying to let me know that
She's okay.
She's okay. Things
she's
will be
here.
okay, sis.
Yeah.
And I was just seeing Bulldogs there, and I'm just what the hell, sis?
All these little signs.
All these little signs. I was
Everything
okay,
happens for a reason,
It
yeah.
happens for a reason. And now just it's a full and in love with Bulldogs for her. And she always said that, I can't wait to go to doggies games. Never been to one in her life, and she was hoping to go to one this year, but didn't have the money in her account for it. So we just said, sis, we'll just hopefully one day, you get to go then. But her babies now, I love that they are making sure that rugby league's a whole big part in their life. It's because it's honouring their mum, keeping her alive. And so for me now, it's more than just being an auntie and a footy player. I've taken on this mentorship, for my
For the
nieces,
babies, yeah.
for the babies, and anyone that knew my sister, she was my biggest hype, woman, my cheerleader, everything, my best friend. And I just wanted to sort of not. I think I didn't really. I was about to make the call to Strangey that same day she passed that.
Well, honestly, he gave us the heads up and said, we're training like Salah's not playing just in case because
Yeah.
you know we knew what was going on. And,
big respect.
like
yeah.
it's tough to get yourself out of, but you showed up. Like we didn't have the best game, but you still showed up. Like
Yeah, I did.
I don't think I could have played if it would have happened to me. Like,
Got you, yeah.
but just your resilience,
Strength.
your strength, I have just admired and taken on. Just from you inspire me. Like you
Right.
inspire me to different lengths that you probably don't even know, and probably so many females in our game.
Words probably can't
Yeah,
describe.
so not many could have done
Likewise.
what you've done.
If I'm being honest, I probably wasn't okay. Like, and like a lot of people said, like, totally understand. Like, you know, there's no right or wrong way of grieving, and but I had to, like, I guess no one knows this, but my sister, like, if you know, sharing with you guys that her last words to me was to go to camp, get to sleep. Like, you knew that she really wanted me to finish, and
So, what's your Macca's go-to order?
it'd be like 6 nuggets with sour cream. Sour cream. Is it sour cream?
Sour cream, sweet and sour
Oh,
sauce.
sweet sour. Sorry, I had wedges last night. So.
Large? Nah. Oh, she's lying.
Same bun. No, look, lately, I've been liking the Macca's Mac Wings. Like,
Yeah. Okay, Salah, number 2. If you could swap lives with any teammate for a day, who and why?
probably Kezi.
Kizzy?
Apps.
Farm girl.
Yeah, farm girl. She grew up in Bega.
Bega cheese.
Bega
Staying
cheese.
alive
And I've actually
farm?
always admired like farmers, like just that
Appreciation,
upbringing and
yeah.
appreciate the hard work and that. So yeah, I'd love to experience that one day.
What's one emoji you overuse?
The laughing one.
Yeah, I think everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Salah's got the funniest stuff. She's like,
Yeah. No.
Next question, Salah. Would you rather miss a tackle or miss a coffee for the day?
Oh, miss a coffee.
Miss a coffee,
Yeah.
not miss the tackle.
Yeah, I don't want that replaying in my head.
Yeah,
like,
and you get put on
rent
highlight
free.
reels these days.
Yeah, actuals. That's a shame. No, joke.
What's one fashion trend you'll never get around?
I'm actually into anything, everything.
Yeah, you can pull it off. You're the coolest. Like,
No, like
Coolest
we're
cat.
short, so it doesn't help we're short. I think we're a bit
Limited stock
a bit
for short
cooler.
people.
100%.
Okay, first app you open in the morning.
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram.
I don't have like anything else but Insta.
She doesn't even have TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. I don't have Snapchat.
But she's all over
I
my
don't have-
TikTok.
I love it. I love Ken's TikToks. It's just energy. That's all you need.
What's a weird habit you have that no one really knows about?
Oh my god.
Do you have
no.
one?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
What?
I actually I love cotton earbuds. Like
Putting them in your ear?
Ask Ken's this.
That made
pressure
sense.
in your
Yes,
ear?
yes.
She
Like,
made me
I
buy
love the
300
sensation.
for her.
She bought 300 for me in camp, and I tell you now, it's probably like only a quarter left of it. Like since camp to now,
Just that sensation.
I love
in
it.
your ear?
Yeah, it's probably don't need it, but anytime I shower, after, gotta get it out, and it's a fresh one for each ear.
Yeah.
And if I don't have it, I'm desperate in my car. I don't really care.
need to use a reused one.
No, just I do.
So fine.
Yeah.
Holy,
yeah. I gotta, bro. I have to, satisfy my needs. And
Okay.
one of them was that.
No judgments
And then,
passed.
you know
no
what? I'll go
questions
beyond
asked.
that. No, you know what? I'll go beyond that. If I don't have an actual cotton earbud around,
You'll
me,
use a
even
pen.
No, I'll use my hand.
I use my finger.
Yeah, trying to get there.
I just do that. I can actually stick
I do that, but then I have a weird habit of like. I'll be like,
It's okay. We love our own bodily
it's like
smells.
smelling like the wax. I was
It's
like,
okay. It's okay.
That is crazy.
crazy.
It's okay.
Okay, last question.
No judgment.
Early mornings or late nights? We'll move on.
Thanks, sorry. Too comfortable, sorry.
TMI. Early mornings or late nights? I feel like you're late night.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
up
a late
all night,
nights, yeah.
roomies.
Late nights, yeah. Got
Early
you.
mornings, like
Very
us
rare.
two. If we had to be downstairs at 9 o'clock, we'd be up at 8:35 and then downstairs at 8:40.
Yeah.
be
We'd
like
sometimes
that.
even skip the brekkie.
Yeah, we'd skip brekkie to go straight to camp.
Honestly, yeah.
Extra sleep. Yep.
Thank you, Salah, for sharing. You've been so open and honestly, we appreciate you for letting us, into your life. I know for a fact Jean would be so proud of you, and you're continuing and honouring her in the best way possible for not only yourself but your community and her baby. So thank you so much.
Thanks, girls, for having me.
That's all
been a
right.
real honour.
We just wanted to come on here and let you guys know the winner of the $300 gift card from last episode. So we asked for your game day setup and what it looks like, and we've got the winner. Ruben, did you want to announce who?
Yes, I shall announce the winner. The winner goes to Hannah.
Hannah, congratulations, Hannah. I'll be in contact. She sent through a massive paragraph in why she loves us and the NRLW and the men's game and everything. She said, these 2 picks pretty much sum up my game day supporting my faves with my faves. A big part of my game day is showing up in all my team gear with poster flags, big heads to support my team. As well as this, I love going to the game with my family, friends, and creating memories that last a lifetime. And then she sent us a few picks that, just kind of captures Hannah's support. So thank you so much, Hannah. We appreciate you.
Love ya, Han. So, Salah, how can our listeners win our next voucher?
Yeah, so the girls obviously want to see who's the biggest Origin supporter out there. I guess you just have to send your setup of how you watched a game.
Yep. To @Cherries On Top Pod, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok. We want to see the biggest fan of State of Origin, regardless, men's or women's, we're all one. That's how you can win $300. It's the easiest thing ever. Don't forget, fam, if you want to see Salah, Rueben, and myself kick off for the NRLW season this weekend or whatever weekend, live and free on Channel 9. Every game is there. Salah for West Tigers and Rubes and I for Parramatta Eels. Hopefully we'll be back soon, but I can't wait to see my friends kill it this season because we're going to go get ours. And remember, guys, everything's better
with a cherry on top.
I don't have mine.
Rueben Cherrington to Kennedy Cherrington.
Navigated the biggest ocean we can navigate.